station, Nagin.
And welcome back. You've somehow tuned in to Kill the Cat Radio, the only real freelance station around. I'd like to call it KTCR. I'm Matthew Diabate. Been doing this for a minute. I think I said this before. If you have a microphone and some gumption, you can talk to the most interesting people around. And that's what I do. I'm really lucky with my guest today. I think I met Matt Nagin at some film shoot in Long Island. I think I met Matt Nagin in a past life. I thought I knew what he was all about. But we never know, do we? Matt Nagin is plainly honest, hands down. He's a writer, an ex-professor, an accidental comedian, and overall, pretty straight-up guy. I appreciate that in people. Honesty is a lost commodity these days. But in this program, today, what you're listening to, we talk about everything. We chat about comedy, about censorship, about conspiracy theories, about Alabama, and weirdly, even our diet plans. I never saw that one coming. But we took our time with it, and you should too. So here we go. But anyways, yeah, I don't care. So if something you don't like, right? Like just be like, oh, we went into a topic that you didn't like, just immediately tell me.
I doubt it. Yeah. I doubt it will touch a topic I don't like. It's very rare that happens.
Whatever it is, I'm just saying that usually like what is like somebody will be like, they'll be telling a story, and usually sometimes people get really stoned or drunk on this thing. I know you don't roll like that.
How do you know that?
I don't know. I mean, I think we chatted. Oh, yeah, you're right. I don't know that. We'll get into that too.
I've straightened out, but yeah. But I mean, once in a while, I'm not a Boy Scout here.
I know. But there are people who like get wasted and just be like, "Oh shit, dude! Like my chick's gonna hate me for that." I'm like, all right. Or like someone's like, "Dude, I got a kid. I don't want to talk about the acid experience I had or whatever." Mr. Nagin, man, what's happening? Thanks for coming on over.
Thank you for having me here.
Jesus, all the way from all the way from fucking Alabama, baby.
All the way. I mean, express delivery here to Williamsburg.
And I just want to let the audience know that we did not ship them up. We're not that expensive. We don't have the kind of funds for that sort of thing, but not yet.
You gotta save that for the mail order brides. They don't have those from Alabama.
But now all the famous people have podcasts, so they're taking all the business away from us. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, stay in your lane, guys. You guys are already rich. Like, what about us? You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man.
What about us like losers over here, you know?
Right. Podcasting, I think, is for the basement dweller.
It should be for that.
Right.
That's what it should be.
The Notes from the Underground dude. You know, Dostoevsky. Right. So it's like that guy who's just weird. He doesn't interact with people, but he's got like 12 podcasts, and now he's cool online.
I like that guy.
Yeah, that guy's cool. No, I'm sorry, no, that's not you.
But but trust me, you come to the studio, there's cobwebs everywhere. It's freaky. Everybody's wondering what the fuck's going on. I just fake the pictures, make it look more interesting.
No. This is a cool vibe you got. This is well done. You know, decor.
I even have someone send me an on-air sign. I thought that was the cutest thing. It was the cutest thing. But it was like a $2 buy, and someone's like, "It's cute. You're starting you're on the radio. It's Kill the Cat Radio." And so someone sent me that. I was like, "Oh, that's the sweetest little." So it's kind of cute.
So they still are trying to tune in on the FM dial to find you on what station.
That'd be hilarious. I know. That'd be kind of fucking cool. Terrestrial radio, right?
Sure.
Like, dude, I love your hat though. The Hank Williams.
Oh,
dude, that's dope. That's an Alabama thing too. So tell me about Alabama.
That's in the hat was from his boyhood home. That's in Georgiana, Alabama, which is about an hour from Montgomery.
Yeah.
So there's also a museum in Montgomery. Yeah. And both of them are pretty interesting, a little different. But you can go to the gravesite. There's all kinds of Hank stuff because he was in that area. So,
right.
So if you're into that Hank memorabilia,
get down
there, man.
What is it, George? Wait, what did you say? Where is it?
This is Georgiana, Alabama. Okay, so that is really the Boondocks. This place. Okay,
What do you-
so,
like,
so
what
my
do you
ex-girlfriend's
mean?
mother
Talk to
lived
me.
there.
Talk to me. Yeah.
Talk to you.
I've never been to Alabama. I know people from Alabama. I just don't know anything about Alabama. Is what I'm saying.
Sure, and I think it gets a bad rap. Let's be real. But especially New
There's
York.
been a couple. There's been a couple historic.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. It's America.
no.
America's weird.
Right, but it's a lot cooler a place, in my opinion, than people give it credit for.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying there aren't some
But you
problems.
used to live here though, too, right?
I lived here for most of. I mean, I grew up in Long Island. And
okay.
Then
All right.
then
I'm
I was in
dealing
LA
with the
a
New
little
York,
bit, but
yeah.
I've lived in the city.
Yeah.
For over 15 years.
Yeah. So you already know the whole game here,
Right.
Right. I just know the South is a different vibe, different kind of.
There's definitely that vibe, but there's other things that people don't. Okay, here's an example, which I think is actually on a positive tip. We could get on the negative.
All right, whatever.
So, a lot of people here, for example, they would look down on Alabama because of their lax gun rules, right? They think everybody is just like.
Can you get a gun anytime?
I mean, you can. It's very easy. You can walk in.
I want that.
Yeah.
I want that. Wish we had that here.
Right. You can walk into any store.
Yeah.
All you need is a 10-minute background check, and you can come out with any handgun, any kind of thing you want.
I'm going.
You don't need a license. You don't need anything.
Wait. No license even.
Just not to purchase and take home. Now, if you want to open carry, if you want to just have it like in your car and not in a lockbox without loaded, then you need to get a license. But that's only like a day process there. But if you just want to have it at home, like you just want a handgun, you don't need anything.
I'm just like, I need a hand, just 45 9mm or whatever. I could go to a store and be like, hey, I need this right now.
Exactly.
No, maybe you shouldn't say right now.
Right now, I need to kill.
Dude, I need this shit right now, bro. You need to give me this thing right now before it's too late.
Okay, so people in general, what I've noticed, I'm not saying there's no crime, but in general, people are very polite. People are very friendly.
Southern hospitality.
Right. You meet someone, you're walking down the street, someone greets you. Yeah. Oh, good morning. How you doing?
Yeah.
And I think the reason is because they don't want to get shot in the face. You know what I mean? It's
so
like
everybody's nice because everybody's armed.
Basically. In a way, it's like it's a deterrent. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of sets everything equal a little bit.
Right. There's no road rage. Like if you're sitting on a light and you forget, sometimes you forget that it turns green.
Yeah.
No one even honks. I couldn't believe it. I was like, no one honks.
That's like in New York. They're up your ass before that fucking light changes. Yeah.
You'll get 4. Expletives. You get the arm out the window. But see, they don't do that there because you don't know if the other guy is going to pull a gun out and just start shooting.
So you got to be careful. So everybody's kind of like my Texan friends said that too. They're just like, no one fucks anybody because you don't even know. Like you don't even know what's going on. But the people are chill. Everything's kind of like not nicer. It's not Candyland. It's not like mellow. Whatever. No. But like where you live, the city you live is Montgomery. You live in the capital or no?
Yes, I'm in a park called Cloverdale. And right, that's the home of Scott and Zelda Fitzgerald,
which we were getting into earlier because we're both literary guys. We're going to talk about that. We were nerding out right before the podcast started, just about Mr. Fitzgerald and his interesting wife.
Exactly.
Good life choices there.
There has to be a story usually in terms of what brings you to Alabama. So,
I know, right? That's true, right? That's crazy.
Yeah. So, but I mean, they ended up down there. I think it was 2 years. I forget.
But playing, I mean, like you're a performer. I mean, like we met on some TV show or something, right?
So we met on an investigation discovery show. I think I
was a PA.
Yeah, I played a lot of those killers and psychopaths and rapists and stuff like that. All the healthy stuff that's good in America.
I don't know why they peg you for that. You seem like you're a super jovial guy. I don't get this murder vibe thing from you at all.
I think I chilled out in Alabama, but there's definitely been some girls on Tinder that were a little concerned.
They were worried about you.
Yeah, they want to check my DNA first before they go out. They want to make sure they have a sample.
You have
just
to swab.
You
got to swab before you go. Then they do the thing, and then.
Right.
That's so funny. So we met on this show, right? And I think we hit it off. I mean, I know that I was like in a different. I think I was married at the time, and I was in a different headspace, whatever. And I remember, I always would get in trouble because I would always talk to the talent. Right. I loved you guys. I love actors. I love comedians. I love writers. I love the people who perform because I'm such a behind the camera guy.
Sure.
I don't want to be anywhere in front of anything. Like and eventually I got a whole setup here. I'm going to start doing stuff like this, but with me, and I'm a little nervous about that. But we met there, and basically,
do you remember how we met? I remember.
No. Tell me the story.
So I was sitting there, you're in holding, you're waiting.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you're just sitting around, which is fine. Especially this kind of thing like this. It's a reenactment, so there's not real lines. You're sort of improvising. So you're sitting around, and of course, I'm reading Bukowski.
Oh, that's what it is. Oh, you do look at my collection right there, dude. I got those are all the original Black Sparrow press, by the way. Dude, that whole second one right there. No, we'll look at
the
that.
complete set. You got to pretty much.
No. I need another 12. But anyways, yeah, go on. Yeah, sorry about that.
Right. So I don't even remember which book I was reading because I think at that time I'd already read all the novels. It must have been like one of the storybooks or something, short story collections, and then you started talking to me. You're like, Bukowski.
Of course I did. That just no. Anybody who knows me knows it's like, yeah, okay. Of course he's gonna talk to the dude reading Bukowski. Good man, good call on that one. Deep cut. I forgot about that. So you're sitting there and you're doing your thing, but at that time, like I think when we started talking on the, when we were just like between shots or whatever, when you were hanging out, you told me that you were definitely doing the acting gigs, all this stuff. I think we talked about writing,
right? But
also you were doing comedy,
right? So
tell me about the comedy.
Yeah, so
when
I'd say that's probably my main focus is comedy, or comedic writing, somewhat, or satirical writing. So it kind of all. I feel like it's the overlap. Whether you're doing it on stage or you're doing it in a book, there is a kind of.
And coming up,
symbiosis or something.
Your style's kind of like is it like a kind of the sarcastic New York thing? Like what's going on?
Oh, in terms of how my stand-up is.
How would you describe your own stuff?
Well, it changes over time,
right? Of course.
So now I've been doing a lot more material about Alabama, like being this fish out of water kind of thing. Nice. But I do some political. It's a mix of material. I really think it's. So what's my style? It's.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I love comics because you guys are the easiest to interview ever.
Right.
It's way easy.
Right. But I think it's a mix. Like everybody.
You're not shy.
No, right. It's people say like, what do you do? It's like there's rants, there's stories, there's jokes. It's kind of like a mix. It's not like one particular thing.
When did you first start getting on stage doing this kind of thing?
It's been almost 15 years, believe it or not.
Wow.
So it's a long time.
Wait, how old are you now?
I'm 45.
Okay, so you jumped up. So it's like, all right. So basically, you were 30. You're like, fuck it, I'm going to comedy.
Well, what happened was, in terms of the origin, was I was taking some writing classes.
Okay.
And a lot of the stuff I was just writing was comedic, and people were laughing at it. So that came.
This is a good sign.
Yeah, that was a good sign. So, but I had no inclination for stand-up. That was like the last thing I wanted to do.
Okay,
And I like watching it, but I'm like, I would never do that. And then I was at some event where they wanted us to do like a little sketch, improv, and people were laughing. So people were like, you should try stand-up. So I went to an open mic, and I had this routine which I was improvising, which was basically about my elbow going in for a job as a substitute teacher. And I'm
already it's just funny.
I'm like, come on, man, I want a job, and so then I'm like, we're not in the habit of hiring body parts or something like that. It was some kind of routine like that for like 5 minutes of this, and it was dead silence, bro. No one laughed.
Oh no.
And I thought it was funny, but I mean, I couldn't hear a pin drop. And then some guy comes up to me, hey, bro, what are you doing, man? You got to talk about...
Is this Long Island?
Yeah, this is in New York City.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like, you got to talk about sex. You got to talk about, Viagra or whatever the thing was.
They were heckling you from this, or they told you
They weren't heckling. It was just like a comic after. He's like, come on, man, that's not comedy. You're talking to your elbow for 5 minutes, So,
right? Oh, that's hilarious.
So, but there was something there. And I was just, hopefully I developed. And I'm still struggling at the, I'm doing a bunch of shows and stuff. I got a bunch of shows. I'm doing a show tonight, actually. So
nice.
Yeah. So in Soho. So, but yeah, no, you develop.
That's got to be rough when you're like coming New York crowds, open mics. I mean, was this in the West Village, one of those places?
Right. It was at a place that's now called Grizzly Pear Comedy Club. At that time, it was
exactly
called.
Where it is.
That time it was called Sal's Comedy Hole. Okay, so
wow,
yeah, that's a distinguished venue right there.
That sounds like Carnegie. There's that, and then Carnegie Hall's right after that. Like,
right, it's just one level up. Is Carnegie Hall.
The Hole, and then moves from there right
the
there.
Hole,
like,
yeah. It all started at the Hole. So
doesn't it always kind of like a little bit? Yeah.
Hopefully one day I'll be known and I can say that he got his start at Sal's Comedy Hole.
That's so fun.
I mean, the bravery it takes. I mean, everybody talks about this and the bravery of comedians, blah 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 blah. But sometimes it's like also just like you throwing yourself out there. I mean, what were you doing before? You were mainly kind of like sticking you were more like not literary type, but you were kind of sticking just books and working on your writing and stuff like this.
Right. Yeah. No, I always had an interest in writing from maybe ages 17, 18, something like that. At least passing interest. So I'd say that was always kind of my focus. And I was in LA. I did a bunch of different film, kind of like you, film jobs, like
just PA whatever.
or just different things, script supervisors, script coverage, and
that's cool.
all kinds of just stuff like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And I was getting into it. I always had an interest in film for some reason.
Yeah.
So I think probably the biggest influence in terms of film was like Kubrick. I was like, this guy is such a genius.
Of course.
I just watch his movies over and over. Everything he does, it's like, I'm like, I don't know how anyone can even compare.
Yeah, wait, did you go, like, what kind of school did you go when you were coming up? Was it like art school or was it just like regular school?
So I started at, so I didn't come from a creative family, okay? So I went to Cornell, but I started at a hotel school.
Oh, hell yeah, that's a good school.
Yeah, so I went to the hotel school there. I was going to become a hotel.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Well, you got the personality. I mean, you could.
Well, yeah. The thing was, I was on so many drugs at the time. I'm going to be honest with you. That
all right.
That my uncle, he knew all about. He's like, you gotta find something where you could get in, And he's like, you could apply to a hotel school.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. He's like, and he was able to get me a job like working at a hotel.
And there's no drug addicts in the hotel industry at all.
Yeah. Exactly. So I start there and I hated it. I was gonna literally commit suicide.
Yeah.
I was high every day.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have to change.
Yeah.
And they said you could, if you want to change your program, you've got to maintain like a 3.7 or you're out of Cornell. You have one semester.
Yeah.
So I took the chance. I switched to liberal arts and I became an English major. And that's how I started getting into it. Yeah.
Dude, you had a wonderful education because you had an English major at Cornell. That's like pretty dope. Like,
and then I got a master's at NYU. Then I taught college for a while. Yeah.
What?
I mean, freshman writing. Yeah.
That is so awesome. Like even like have that even experience. Wow. I mean, I don't know if we got into that when we chatted.
So you're a literary guy. Did I tell you this that I took a class with Derrida? I don't know if I told you that.
What?
Yeah,
the actual Jacques Derrida?
Yeah. I met him in his office hours. I had to talk with him. It was great.
Was he just a depressed Frenchman like normal or like?
Yeah, no,
I married French, or
was
divorced French.
One of his lectures. Yeah. So he was like guest lecturing. So he had four guest lectures. They were each like 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I just remember him going. I mean, it was brilliant. But he just went in such detail about Rousseau's Reveries of a Solitary Walker.
Dude, I'm there, dude. I'm like there, dude. I know LT, bro.
Okay.
Literary theory, dude. Okay. I had to do it. I did. That's what turned me off of wanting to teach.
Got you.
Theory.
Did you get into Paul Duman too? Like, were you into deconstruction? Or no?
We didn't get fully into that. We did. We got there because like I was doing undergraduate, but then they let me take grad classes.
Wow.
As an undergraduate, because I was bored. I went to like some shitty state school in California, Cal State Florida.
Okay, Cal State.
But I'm telling you, but they let it was cheap back in those days. This is before Schwarzenegger, and we're the same age. I'm 45 too.
Sure.
So, but they let me take grad classes. So I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, I already read all these books already. Like, yeah, I'm there. And then the dean of the English department was like, okay, if you can get your professors to sign on to this, you could take the grad classes. And I'm like, I don't want any credit for having a master's. I just want to just be stimulated. They're like, okay, whatever. Like,
that is awesome.
Whatever this kid's doing. And then all my professors were like, if you want to come on in. And that's when I learned the dreaded capital T theory. And it ruined it for me because I just wanted to teach kids books.
Right. No, I understand that completely.
I don't give a shit about the fucking. I mean, I did like Northrop Frye, right? He was cool, the seasonal guy. Every book's a season kind of thing. Like, But I don't care about queer theory, about Moby Dick. You know what I mean?
No, I'm with you on most of it. Yeah. But deconstruction, I think it was the reason I got respect for Derrida is when I watched what he was doing.
You fucking met him, dude.
Yeah, when I met him and when I watched what he lectured, it was so detailed and so precise. Now, some of it's a little in the clouds. Some of these guys, the other guys are like Deleuze and Guattari. I don't know if they have a couple. Foucault, I like.
Horkheimer and Adorno. I love their paranoia. That's my favorite of them. The Germans, the freaky, the fright of everything. Culture theory, which now everybody talks about, which is odd that now regular people are talking about this. I'm like, dude, we study this in like master classes, like.
Right. Anyway. I think it's complicated. I totally agree. I'm on board with what you're saying.
Yeah.
You don't want to. in theory, like MFA program, they don't get into any theory. They just go to,
which is cool.
Writing.
That's
let's just like
cool.
appreciate
like
what this
that.
is.
Yeah.
Let's look at the craft. Let's look at the elements. Let's break it down. And that's another. I think both are interesting, but
no, absolutely, it's interesting. It's just funny how now it's seeped into like. So I'm hearing people like when your mom starts bringing up like, "Wow, this culture theory," and you're like, "Wait, how do you know this shit, dude? This is like something that was reserved for like."
True.
Like, I mean, I'll Freudian analyze anything. Like it's fine. We got Freud right here. We're good. But like,
true.
Yeah,
the guy in Subway, you're getting like the green peppers and the olives. He's like, I don't know if Derrida would do that.
Yeah, he's just like, yo, this culture theory stuff is really plaguing our society. I'm like, do you even know what the fuck you're even talking about? Like, but it is funny. So that's crazy. I mean, that's so great to even have so you were like an adjunct professor or a professor?
Yeah, adjunct and then instructor, various things. But I basically taught a lot of remedial writing, freshman writing, stuff like that.
That's fun.
So just
back to the basics.
Basics.
That's good.
Right,
because
I never got a doctor. But it was good. It was good. I've taught at a bunch of universities in New York.
Shit.
So yeah. So that was a great experience, actually. It may not be the highest paying, but it's rewarding. It's rewarding.
Oh my god, I would totally loved your class, dude.
Yeah, no, there was some there were you know what, it was a great experience. And
yeah.
You learn from everything.
Of course,
of
course.
Like you it seems like you've done a bunch of jobs and
dude, yeah. Comedy.
I know. I know. I have done a lot of weird things, other stuff with clowning and making balloon animals. I can tell you.
But you don't look 45. You look young. You know what I'm saying?
You.
So you got one of those things. You got one of those faces.
Well, people have said that.
I'm not just saying that because you're here. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I hope that back room is open, Matt. No, just kidding.
Oh Lord, hello. I have never tried once, but you get older, you hit 50. You're like, it's a good looking guy, Matt.
We're
both.
Got a Freudian book.
We're both Matts here. We're both Matts.
Whatever. That is some Freudian stuff.
Yeah. All right, so like moving different things. So it's like now, why did you end up like leaving, going down south?
Well, there was a woman involved. That's one part of it. This girl that was dating here, she was there during the pandemic.
Ooh, right. The pandemic. See, that's the thing. The pandemic kind of changed everything for everybody. You know what I mean? Like, so you moved down there for her?
I mostly moved down there for her, and then I ended up liking it. It was weird. So,
no shit.
Yeah. So I mostly moved to be with her. We were pretty serious. We ended up breaking up.
Well,
but
sorry.
But we're friends now. It's cool.
That's cool. That's, adults.
Yeah, we're adults. So, and
you kind of dig where you're at because because it's cheaper and it's like easier to deal with and like.
Right. I don't know how much longer. I may move back somewhere. I was thinking of moving somewhere else, trying to see the next.
Have you been around the United States? Have you traveled? A lot of New Yorkers.
I travel a lot, but I do a lot of road. But I was thinking Austin, but I've never actually been there. I was trying to visit a cousin there. But anyway, that's another story. So yeah, like I like going to different places, like you with writing, with creativity.
Yeah, sure.
Different people, different places.
Oh fuck yeah.
Different vibe.
What about Europe? You been over there and do all that stuff?
I've done some Europe.
What's your spots? Where'd you go? What'd you like?
I mean, pretty much loved it. Pretty much everywhere. Trying to think of the best places I've been.
What you like, just whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Prague was one of the more interesting.
That's like a whole different. That's like a Milan Kundera planet right there. Like I love that shit.
Yeah. No, I just thought the architecture was cool. Like it's very Gothic and a lot of kind of like gargoyles, and you have the whole Kafka thing.
And it's one of and it's one of those cities that weren't blown up during World War II. That's the thing.
Sure.
Have you been in Berlin? That's a spooky place.
I was in Berlin.
I don't know.
One of the more interesting was I was in St. Petersburg.
Wow,
that was cool.
Speaking of Russia,
yeah.
That's not in the news or anything.
Yeah. So no, I've been pretty much. Name a spot. The main ones. I've probably been there.
That's cool that you that you have that adventurous spirit. A lot of people from New York, they stay here.
I realize.
You know what I mean?
I realize, yeah. And then they still go to the same bar every night, and they go to the same restaurant. They hang with the same people.
Dude, I don't get it, man. And I get it. Like, I understand, like, if you're from New York City or around this area, I get why you wouldn't. Like, you got family here, or people are here, or whatever. You got a cousin, or you can do this. I'm hitting, I think I'm hitting like 17 years now here. And I don't think I can exist anywhere else. I mean, maybe Paris, but I don't, like.
Yeah, Paris is incredible. I remember
Dude,
I saw you
fucking
post that.
love, dude.
Yeah, Paris
Come on, man. Like that. Like, dude. I mean, but that's fucked up too. Paris is fucked up. It's no dreamland over there. It's actually more dangerous than New York right now.
Right.
I was just there over the Christmas holiday and or whatever, and New Year's. I was followed 3 times. Like it almost reminded me of what this neighborhood used to be like when I moved here. Like the 3-man formation, there's like one behind you, one across the street, and the other cat's coming in the thing because they know the roads more than you. Thank God I got like experience here. How about New Orleans? You ever go down over there?
Sure, but I haven't gone back in like 20 years. Yeah. So even though I'm close to it, so I'm only 5 hours.
Yeah, you would be perfect.
Perfect, right? Yeah. So a place I went a couple times recently near there. It's only an hour away. Couple places, Ocean Springs, Mississippi.
All right.
Okay, and it gets a little of a spillover from New Orleans.
Okay.
So it's a very artsy community. It's actually cool. I think you would really dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have like, you know this guy. I'm forgetting his name all of a sudden. I'm sorry, man. This is dementia in my family. But anyway, there's a Walter Anderson is his name. Okay, so he's kind of like the Van Gogh of the South. I know.
All right.
I know it's a big.
I'm
that's
down.
A big claim.
I'm down.
But he's very interesting, kind of almost like outsider art. But,
yeah, I got you.
But he worked in all different forms.
Yeah.
And they have a really cool museum. And there's a lot of actual. In Ocean Springs, it's a very cool area.
Ocean Springs, Mississippi.
Ocean Springs, Mississippi. And Hattiesburg is another thing that I thought was cool.
I've heard that. I've heard good things about that.
You heard about that?
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Just that area. I mean, I think a lot of people, again, you're right. In New York, they kind of like, they look down on the South or whatever. They're like, oh, New Orleans is cool, Austin's cool, but then they're forgetting about all these interesting little places you're talking about.
Right. That's what I like. I like personally, having been down there, I like out of the way places. Yeah. I'm more intrigued just because they're less over. Okay, like example. All right. I was in Memphis recently. Of course, I went to Graceland.
Okay.
And that's cool.
Elvis, dude.
Yeah, of course. And you go to Sun Studios. And I'm not saying all that stuff is great. I loved it. I'm a big Elvis fan.
Yeah.
But I almost think Tupelo was more interesting. That's his birthplace, which was like an hour away.
Yeah.
Because it's just cool. Like you can walk around the town. They have like the Lyric Theater where he like forgot his first kiss. They have this hardware store where his mom bought him his first guitar and stuff. And it's still intact. It's like it's still a hardware store. You can still get like lug nuts there. Yeah. And also they have memorabilia. It's like Home Depot with history. It's crazy, man. So
wow.
Yeah. I if it's a little more out of the way, personally, I don't know why. I just find it more interesting,
Yeah, but you seem like kind of against the grain kind of guy anyway. It's not like you're difficult. You're not. Like, I mean, I don't know you that well, but already you're the chillest, you're a chill guy. We chatted, on social medias and stuff. But, I mean, I don't think you're controversial. I mean, do you think your comedy's controversial or anything like this? Like, do you think you even hit any? I mean, these days, what's not controversial?
Right. No, I would say I used to be a lot more extreme. I've really mellowed out.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I don't.
I used to be more. I'm debating on that.
Just piss everybody off.
No.
Which is fun.
I just was a lot dirtier and a little bit more pushing envelope, and I still am, but I don't. I'm not. I'm a little cleaner than I used to be. A little more like.
Oh, so you were like full blue.
I was more blue. I was more blue. Yeah. So I was back earlier on.
You're saying like when you're like 30, whatever, and I guess like being the newer person on the scene, you kind of want to come out all guns, right? Like,
right? I mean, everyone's different. Everyone's different. Also, the climate has changed. Not that you change for the climate necessarily, but it is a different world now.
Oh, I know.
It's not the world of when I started. It's
I love it. Like people are like I'll say weird shit on here. I'll say weird shit on the social medias, and they're like, "Dude, careful, you're gonna get canceled." I'm like, you can't cancel me. I'm already too old for that shit. Like, I mean, I don't have any money.
Yeah, right.
What do you like? Yeah, if I was like trying a career, like, dude, my next stop is 50. You know what I mean? 5 years from now, I don't give a fuck what you think.
Right. No,
understood. It depends on everybody. Like, like somebody like obviously, I'm sure you love Bill Burr. I found out recently on something that he was doing that he started clean. I didn't even know that his trajectory was clean comedy, and then he started getting more, not angrier, but I didn't realize. I mean, that's crazy. So you're kind of going sort of not that way, but I mean, I don't think you're going to go full G-rated, but
Yeah, no, I haven't done as much stand up as I used to.
Okay, right.
So it could be that, I don't know. It kind of could be the Alabama vibe. It's chilled me out a lot. More than I feel like I changed a little down there.
Wait, so how long have you been down there then?
About a year and a half, and I feel like
even in that time.
Right.
Wow.
I feel like I'm not the same person I was before. Wow. So if we were having this talk a year and a half ago, I would be a little bit of a different person. That's what I think.
No shit. Yeah. So it's Alabama's taking the New York out of you? What's going on, bro?
Maybe.
Bro, don't lose it, bro.
Yeah, I know. That's bad. It could be bad. It could be good.
No, I'm just kidding.
But you compensate. The one thing I say with comedy is I try to do. The thing is, if you're getting gigs, right, it's all different crowds.
Right.
And remember, you're getting people from all walks of life. Now, there's different philosophies, but it's hard enough in this day and age to get people going.
Yeah.
Sometimes, so I'm a little dicey about like losing half the crowd right at the beginning. You know what I mean? Like,
so you're gonna, but before you didn't give a shit. You're just like, fuck it, I'm going in.
Well, example, I did Edinburgh Comedy Festival. I don't know if you heard of it, but you can do your own show, like in a whole hour.
I don't know this.
So I did this in 2013.
Right.
And
where is this?
Scotland, Edinburgh,
Yeah.
So I did it 24 nights. And one of the first few nights.
Dude, I want to go to Scotland. I'm jealous.
It's awesome. And one of the first few nights, I was pushing it like in the first couple minutes, lost the crowd.
Well, is the vibe different? I mean, I know that we speak the same language with those guys, but
good crowd. And you know what's better? You can be a little more cerebral. See, I'm a little more cerebral, a little more dry.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah. And they're more, even if they don't laugh, they're more patient. They're more. Right. I think they have a more, like, I don't know if you can say literary or some kind of.
Yeah, well, definitely they love writers.
They love writers, but a little more. Of
better educated,
a little better educated. Yeah, I'm just gonna be honest. To be blunt, they like honestly a more.
No offense, America.
Right.
Read a book once in a while.
Yeah, and they like more stuff outside the box. Yeah, like more stuff that's like crazy. Edinburgh particularly, it's a fringe festival, but so they appreciate that more than over here, where everyone's a little more cookie cutter. That's a little bit the industry. Not that there aren't some whack jobs. Don't get me wrong.
No, of course.
But it's a little. It's boxed in a little bit.
Yeah, I hear you.
So, and I'm definitely outside the box kind of person.
So like when you started, then like you don't open these shows up, and you go hard, and you're like, whoa, I gotta stop. Like you could change it on a dime like that, or like what?
No, I'm just saying I would move things around, and I would keep more of the extreme stuff towards the end, so that if
you already won them over by the time
exactly
you've charmed them.
Exactly. You gotta get them on your side.
You gotta get them in the room, get them in the bedroom, and then
right. Yeah, it's kind of like that stuff. You've got to slowly seduce. You can't just and I was just going guns blazing, whipping it out, and they're like, "Whoa,
They're like, "Oh, hey, American, you chill out, guy. What's going on?" I can't believe it. I love comedy. I've loved comedy all my life, and just to even hear, just like stories of a lot of comedian friends I have who, there's like from all walks of life, right? And it's kind of they always tell me the same thing, and it's like the stage is the true. Like equalizer. So if you're dealing with people, well, guess what? Like you get an immediate response that moment.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so how did you even get hooked up and like to be able to go over there? You got representation agent and all that stuff? Just for like anybody.
Not for comedy. But I have one for acting.
Oh, that's cool.
And that time, you can just apply. I just apply. You send a tape, and then it's not that hard to get it. Most people can get it. But
you hear that, young comics? You hear that, young comics? Get your ass to Scotland, all right?
It's great. Yeah, no, actually, I recommend.
There are a bunch of drinkers out there, man. I'll tell you that much. Oof.
Absolutely. Heavy is.
It makes us look like amateurish.
When they're drunk, you get weird heckles. Like this guy goes,
"Yeah,
hey, what kind of cheese you eat out of your mother's cunt, eh?"
And I love how they love the word cunt. I think it's that's like my favorite, word in the English language. Right. Because my mother hates it. That's her least favorite word. So I kind of like dig it. But over there,
it's a term of endearment.
They don't even care. Like, you fucking cunt. They like you. You're not going to get beat up that night.
Exactly. They're like, yeah, you're a good cunt. Yeah, my favorite cunt I met over.
Fucking cunt.
You're a fucking cunt. Yeah, they lean into it. Over here, one cunt.
No, you can't. You say one cunt is done.
Yeah, you're done. You're done. You're canceled.
It's over.
You got some feminists throwing blood all over.
Did you run into any of that? Like on social media, did you run into any kind of like cancellation stuff, like trouble and any of that stuff, or what?
My stuff got banned on Funny or Die.
Wait, how do you get banned?
I don't know. They took it all down and they deleted it. And they
what?
TikTok the couple times they say I violate community standards.
Oh, that's a badge of honor, dude.
And I just started with TikTok only recently because I'm like, I can't
Nice.
go on. I was like, I can't do TikTok, and then I finally sold my soul to the devil. It's like getting molested by your gay uncle.
I don't even know how TikTok even.
Yeah.
That shows my age. I'm just
yeah,
like,
but it's just that's the only one where it seems like people. That seems the one where people view it the most. So
yeah, that's the hip shit.
yeah. So, but I don't like it. I never will go. So I just started posting a few, and then 2 of them already they deleted or something. They said,
Can they just delete it like without like letting you know?
And these are, by the way, I got to just tell you, these are like I'm making an effort with this online stuff because I know it to be extra clean. Just because there's no point, like I might as well save the dirty.
They
for
took
like
down your clean stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's like I'm like this is crazy. That's what I'm saying.
Like,
the environment.
describe one of the things that they took down that was clean.
Okay, so I was doing this character.
Okay.
This guy like making fun of the Southern guy, Gunderbaum.
Right.
And I was
okay.
and he does a whole bit about abortion, but it's so over the top. It's kind of like a Borat style thing.
No, I get you.
Yeah. I can do
on camera though too.
Yeah, no, it's on camera, but it's
nice.
it's so obviously parody that for them to take this down is just absurd. Like
so it's like an algorithm, like maybe the machines.
Yeah. I remember which one it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what it was. It had to do with the vaccines because
Yeah.
it was the title was titled.
Yeah.
It was titled "Don't Give Me That Devil Juice." And
Nice.
yeah. So it was going
Nice.
into that whole topic, and I just probably should understand why. Well, that's
I love that.
like,
I
the
can't
third
believe
round.
it. But half the cats that were like getting canceled in the last like year, now all the shit that they were talking about has found out to be fine. Like everything, and now they're like, "Oh, sorry about that." And it's like, dude, what the fuck? You're like taking people down, even for expressing an opinion, and that's just out of control, don't you think? I mean, like,
Absolutely,
that's nuts.
Yeah. No, people have got. I mean, my take on it is, I'm very against all that stuff. And I'll just
Talk
say,
to me.
sure,
Tell
sure.
me. No, don't be shy.
I mean,
don't be shy, Matt.
I have a Substack.
You're not a shy person.
I have a Substack. He's called Shot Zero, so that tells you where my
good.
Yeah, so where
Nice.
my views are on
So
this.
I'm gonna die after the
Yeah.
podcast, guys.
Yeah, right.
Kill the Cat Radio actually finally succeeded in killing the
but
cat.
I probably went down one of those Alabama rabbit hole, wormhole things. But but yeah. So no, I mean, I'm not saying everyone has their own philosophy on
whatever.
that.
Everybody's who gives a shit.
But the point is, I wasn't game with that stuff.
Yeah.
And I was worried about various aspects of it. So
Yeah.
But even whether you're for it or for against it, I think you should be able to have a dialogue.
Of
about
course,
it.
that's what's scary.
It's science. It's just science. Like scientists are getting shut down with their opinion, and they're like experts, like that guy Malone, he was studied at Salk Institute, MD. I mean, these guys, he invented some of the mRNA technology.
Yes.
And then they're like, whoa, we got to take this guy down. So
No, I was just having this conversation with somebody else. I can't remember. It was just a fucking regular bar conversation with a regular dude, and he's like, "I got all the boosters, I got all the stuff, and I got sick anyways, like 3 times." I'm like, "How the fuck?" Like, I never got COVID.
That's
So I don't know
awesome.
what the fuck. And if I did, I didn't know it. I actually have a little theory about this: that if you drink enough booze, it kills everything. It's always has, and if you just stay
That's probably
drunk
true.
forever, then, by the way,
No, that's
I
probably
do
true.
not. I do not advocate this lifestyle to anybody who cannot handle it. I'm a bartender. I'm a professional. I've been doing it for years. No. But I had a theory about that. But no. But like,
I'm Bill W. and I approve this message.
yes, exactly. right. But people are gonna be. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of resentment. I just feel like there's gonna be a lot of resentment in the next year or two.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tidal wave of resentment and anger. I mean, people were forced out of their jobs, out of their homes.
That's what I'm saying.
They were here. You couldn't go inside. You couldn't go to a restaurant.
My bar closed down in West Village, dude.
Yeah,
I was at a fucking job. I
yeah.
was a licensed tour guide, and I was giving
Right.
tours and shit, and my business closed down too.
Right.
There's people the whole thing didn't even affect.
And then you see, the NIH getting hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, where'd that money go?
From the Moderna patent. They own it. You can check that
dude.
thing. They are
Yeah.
just pocketing that money that was from your bar that should be going to your pocket.
Dude.
Is going right into Fauci's back pocket. And then, safe and effective, man. That's it.
How could you how can you have friends with people you disagree with? It's like, because I don't really, I mean, you can't kill children in front of me. All right. Like, you're not allowed to do that. Like, I get pretty pissed off when that happens. I will defend the child. I don't give a fuck who you are.
No, 100%. No, but I think that was part of the.
If you're like pro-life, dude, or whatever, like if you're something pro-life or whatever you want to, I'm not gonna hate on you.
Oh no, I'm amorphous with that. I will talk with anybody, I mean, I hang out from every race, class,
totally,
style, political opinion, because I think that you can learn from everybody. I'm very open-minded. I'm so antithetical to the culture where I have to shut down. See, I think that's a sign that there's something wrong with your point of view. If you have to shut down a conversation,
dude, if you can't even be like mildly like, all right, so here's the playbook, right? And I've seen this happen a million times, especially with any kind of like challenge. Right. So all right, so someone says something, then you say, well, actually, I disagree with that. I got to push back on that. And they're like, why are you being difficult? Like, I'm like, wait, what? Why are you getting worked up? I'm like, dude, I'm Italian. I haven't even got, like, when I get worked up, people die. Like, you know what I mean? Like, or at least injuries. Right. So I'm like, dude, I'm not even worried about this. So that's a classic move of people who just want to be like, like, no, we're not doing this,
Right. It's so I can't believe that we've come to this point where it's like that. That people are such automatons now. I can't
I'm
understand.
with you, dude.
I can't understand it. It's like
preach, brother.
Sorry, I'm going into my my little.
Please preach. No, but it's like, why the hell do you think I have you on here?
It's like they're almost. That's why I say it's like zombies or something. It's like they get their TV news. They like this. Fauci says, they're walking up.
God.
The best part, if you want to know Alabama, part of why the truth. This is not I didn't go to my material. It's just reality, truth.
Do whatever you want.
Why I went down there? Part of it was I couldn't stand everybody here being so damn paranoid about COVID, man.
I'm with you, bro.
I understand in the first couple of weeks, and I had COVID. I had a bad case, but you got to live your life. At a certain point, you've got to move on from this. It's not.
This
it's
is
not
a huge
Ebola.
thing, dude, and they made it political, and it shouldn't be political when it's fucking health.
You're gonna get it. This is the way, and people have to just realize.
Unless they're drunk. Unless they're drunk all the time.
Unless you're drunk like Matt. You should be the new Dr. Fauci. I'll
new
vote
Fauci
for you.
Be like, all right, just vodka. It's pretty good. You don't have to buy the Russian kind. You can buy the Polish kind if you want. Like whatever. I mean, it's whatever. It's from potatoes.
I would follow you over Fauci any day, over that little arrogant garden gnome. I swear to God,
that guy's scary, dude.
If you come out there and you say, "Hey, 6 drinks a day," and I don't like drinking because it bothers me,
I understand.
I will do it. I will listen to you because you know what? You have an unproven track record. You have a clean slate.
I have a clean slate.
This guy has like 12 mistakes in a row. Anything he says is wrong. So you think if you're saying that, I'm listening.
Didn't he fuck up Didn't he fuck up about the AIDS thing too? Like, wasn't there some? Yeah,
totally. I don't know if you read Robert F. Kennedy's book, but the real.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a great. Honestly, it's one of the best exposés I have ever read, and I read a lot of books like you.
Yeah.
And it was. I mean, he's another one. He's gotten banned. He's an ardent liberal. Yeah. Right. His environmental legal stuff. Yeah. He was beloved. It's like what's her name? Naomi Wolf. Right. Yeah, she was another one. The bodies of others. Everybody loved her. Right. Third wave feminist. And she stepped out. Both of them, anti-vaccine essentially, and they've been totally banned and shut down. I used to hate conspiracy theorists.
Dude, I love it.
And now I feel like I'm becoming one. Alex Jones. What's your
favorite? What's your favorite? What's your favorite? Because my favorite's the Denver airport. But like,
Denver airport.
Because just that whole blue fucking scary horse outside.
Go into that one. I want to.
You don't know this one?
I don't know that. I don't know.
What the fuck? Dude, all right, so you guys can look it up. It's pretty well known amongst like psychopaths like myself. There's a blue horse outside, and if you see the picture, I'll show you after the thing. It's a blue horse with red eyes, and so it's at the Denver airport just like this. The guy who made it, right when he was about to finish doing the horse fell and killed him. Okay, so right there, your art piece just killed you. All right, he got a cut on the carotid artery, and he bled to death. And the horse was there, whatever. Then there's these murals in there that like depict like crazy World War III dramas with people in gas masks and scarabs and things like this, and children and all that. I mean, and then there's the Masonic time capsule that's there. that's can't be open. Trust me. And then there's the whole thing where if you take a picture from the sky, it's a swastika, like with how the fucking thing. Yeah, dude, it's my favorite. Do you have a favorite?
That. I don't even know if that's a conspiracy theory or like
fact.
Yeah, like a vision you had where you were on peyote or something. You're like, no, there's a blue horse in the and then it dies, and then the whole thing, and then it comes out, and then there's mushrooms. I'm like,
I don't do drugs, dude. I don't do drugs.
You don't do drugs.
No. When I was younger, I did.
Once in a while, even me, I'm pretty sober. Once in a while, I will do the shrooms just to.
I'm a drinker, dude. I'm like Bukowski.
Do you like the shrooms or no? Because just once in a while, it opens your like portal to some.
No. I did so many. My problem was I lived in Humboldt County, Northern California, and I did too many. I just did.
Sweet. Do you know about the stone ape hypothesis? Did you ever come across that?
Wait, what's this one? See,
no.
Tell me. See, I love this.
Okay, well, Terrence McKenna. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but anyway, he was very into psychedelics.
Name rings a bell.
So anyway, essentially, his theory is how did human beings, and you can look it up for the exact details. How did they evolve? How did we evolve from apes?
What's that missing link? Right, like
what's the missing link?
How did we go
to get consciousness?
Simians
to. So what he suggests is they were of course tracking animals, even like Cro-Magnons and stuff.
Right.
So as they're tracking, they've tracked the animal droppings. Now in the animal droppings, mushrooms grow, right? Psilocybin.
Oh, wait a minute.
So a lot of times, they would, as they're tracking, they would eat them. And he claims they would sometimes eat magic mushrooms, and over time that elevated their consciousness, and that's
dude,
how.
I like this.
Yeah, it's out there, but it makes sense.
I wonder what he.
Yeah, I don't know what he would say, but I'm into it. I'm into his theories because.
All right, so you're not as crazy as I am.
I get very into the health stuff.
Okay,
so
all right, cool.
Like the atrazine, I don't know if they're making
What's
the
that?
frogs gay and all this
Oh,
stuff.
that's some Alex Jones shit.
Yeah. So the atrazine is like an herbicide. It's kind of like glyphosate.
Does it really make the frogs gay?
Yeah, it really turns the frogs gay. And so you lose, and the testosterone levels are dropping off a cliff in America, everywhere, all around the world.
Oh, I've been hearing about this. But I thought that was because of tofu and shit.
Yeah, it's tofu, but it's also a lot of plastics. Okay, so there's BPA's in the plastic.
Oh.
So there is, and also the pesticides. So people are actually becoming, I don't know if you noticed this, but like the younger generation seems a little more androgynous to me. They don't have like.
Yeah, but that's a style thing, though,
It's a style thing, but it's also, I think they're losing they're basically losing
so?
their
You
balls.
think?
Yeah, they have like, they're actually becoming more feminine. It's not just like a gay queer thing.
I truly think it's just upbringing. I think parents just suck. I blame the parents for everything. Like I have men in our family, and the younger men, they're dope. Like they're just men, like carpenters, and
okay,
like nothing's changed. I'm sure they're drinking the same shit we are.
Maybe, but all I'll say is this.
But I understand what you're saying.
Wait, here's how you can get into it. They did studies. This PhD I was watching, and he claims they studied the Paleolithic man.
Yep.
And they somehow from that can determine their levels of testosterone. I guess from the bones.
Well,
They had way higher testosterone.
Oh,
it's
you're
going,
talking about,
so like the average, and it's gone down even in the last 20 years, in the last 10 years. So like the average person in America, right? So they've changed the average amount and is now like half what it was like 20 years ago.
Okay.
So we're all.
This
So
is
where's
fun.
it going? Where the hell is this house?
Okay, so I'm gonna count. I like this because I don't know if you're tracking me on the social media stuff during earlier this part of the year. I did a crazy experiment where I have psoriasis, which sucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll do a whole episode of, like on my own on that later. But like, Jordan Peterson, this other guy who I fucking love, who's my goddamn hero.
That's great.
And him and his daughter had really bad psoriasis and autoimmune problems, with rheumatoid arthritis and things like this. And so they just went full keto, just full on, fuck it. And so I took it to a step even crazier where I was like, okay, I'm only eating ribeye. That's it. So I know like this is from the same cow because it's
Sure.
Here it is.
Sure.
And at that time I was doing whiskey. So I was like whiskey, water, and ribeye. And people were like, no vegetables, no juice, or no. I'm like, no water. I would do like a gallon of water, of course, because whatever.
Right.
And maybe prune juice, because if you only eat meat all the time, sorry,
Yeah,
you're gonna
you
your stomach is not ready for that kind of activity. But 8 ounces of prune juice every day, trust me, Niagara Falls, baby, like everything's cool. So I did this for 6 months, and I was like, I'd fall off or whatever, like there'd be this or that, but like I'm telling you. Sense of smell went up crazy. Okay. I was alert. Like I had more energy than anything. dick stuff changed. I'm not joking. So if you're having problems with your dicks, guys, like maybe just eat more fucking ribeye steak all the time. Because it's like I was like surprised. Weight loss immediately. Like I lost probably over 15, 20 pounds, something like that in this little experiment. Now, yeah, it's hard on the body, and it is an adjustment. Everybody's body is different. We're not doctors here, obviously. You can already tell that from the last hour of listening to the both of us. The two Matts are not doctors here. We do not advocate this message.
So let me just. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
no, and I think that's great that you did it. I may push back on one or two things.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no. I have heard that diet has worked for a lot of people. So I'm not going to say that diet
Some
doesn't.
people, yeah.
I believe it. I'm very into diet stuff now. I've gotten
cool.
very into
Yeah,
So
cool.
for myself, I have Crohn's disease.
Okay,
And I believe I mostly have cured it through diet. So I'm very into all this stuff.
Wait. Let's talk about that then.
So yeah. But I can push. I have a total different diet than you, but I want to hear. I can hear why. I want to first say like why I agree with you that yours can work. Okay,
but I'm anemic too, so I think I have lower vitamin D anyways. And I have
I think yours does
iron.
work.
But everybody's different, so like I always say, everybody's different. Tell me about the Crohn's disease and then what diet worked for you.
But can I just one thing before that?
Oh yeah. Okay.
So I believe your diet can work because I've seen other people do the similar diet, which basically, from what I understand, is you go into ketosis with that because you're on a meat. You're basically having no carbs.
There's nothing.
Right. So when you're doing that. And you're also eliminating all processed foods. All the things
that's all gone.
You're saying makes sense, like the heightened awareness.
And then no sugar. You're not getting any sugar,
right?
Except the whiskey.
My only downside with your diet, in my opinion, and I could be wrong,
other than
from
the
stuff I've seen,
other than the shitting problem,
is long term. Long term, you may have some health consequences of that. Now, for like a few years, it's fine. But no, that's debatable. There's carnivore people I've met. That's it. Yep. You will lose weight. You will do all that great stuff. Yep. But long term, you may have some issues. That's all I'm saying.
But what issues do you think? Do you know what these issues are? Like,
for example, in my opinion, from the stuff I've read, and I'm very involved with this stuff, is like you may have a higher incidence of cancer. You might have an incidence of heart disease.
True.
You might have a higher incidence of other issues.
Cholesterol.
But I know people that are managing and doing it well. So I could be wrong on that. I'm open to it, and anything's possible. I'm not saying it don't. But
I'm curious about this Crohn's situation. That's a rough thing. I know some people with this tough stuff.
So my choice, and I think I once did something like yours. Yeah. I'm not like an animal rights activist, but I happened to. Because of health reasons, I went the opposite of you.
Yeah.
So mine was vegan. Okay.
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, but not just vegan. It's like now I've been trying to do. I'm not that great on it, but like more raw vegan. So like two meals a day, basically. Eventually, I'll be completely raw. So like, and also I'm mixing in fasting more too. So between those two, like a lot of juicing, it's all this stuff. But between doing all that,
that's cool. That's why you look so young.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So when you were saying that, I don't drink now. I do vegan diet. People
think
are like,
about this.
People are like, how you look that? Yeah, because I'm doing all this stuff. I'm like I'm taking calisthenics and various things, to improve my health, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very into it. But I can't prove that mine is the best. But I've seen a lot of studies.
But I gotta say, like from what I remember, you look healthier now than when I met you. So I don't know what changed. Were you doing it back then or like?
No,
what?
I wasn't exactly. And also off all the meds. I used to take a shot every 2 weeks, like an injection
for the Crohn's disease.
For the Crohn's, could not go 2 weeks without it. I've had 3 surgeries in the past. The last one was 20 years ago.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I had all kinds of problems with Crohn's. Serious problems, intestinal blockages, multiple points where I thought I might die. I mean, now I'm pretty good. I'm pretty much very managed. And so I can't say it's going to work for everyone. So I'm not a doctor. Don't take that advice.
That's what I do when I put up stuff. I'm like, okay, everybody's different, guys. Everything's fine. Please don't be weird like me.
But I will say, just like you, I had similar things. Higher energy, higher sense. Even my vision got better. I used to have light sensitivity. My vision is actually a little better now.
It's weird.
Yeah. So I think the common thing we have in common, whether you go vegan or you go meat, is I think that it points to something, which is that a lot of the American diet is very processed.
It's all bullshit.
Yeah, it's all fake. Xanthan gum, sorbitol. This like you go buy a package of chips or like Fig Newtons or anything. It's just a ton of crap in there. And if you eliminate that, you're going to feel better.
Do you notice a difference in the female style down from Alabama to New York City?
Well, yeah, I just started some dating. Definitely, there's a difference. I mean,
tell me about the differences.
You need, the date is different. You need like a wheelbarrow to get them into, Golden Corral buffet. So
wait, are you saying they're bigger?
I'm just stupid.
Oh, okay. I was just saying, is everybody fat there? Is the miss real?
Not all, but the diet there is not as what it is here. And maybe they're all anorexic here. I don't know what they're doing, or bulimics, but down there.
I'm saying the attitude of like.
Oh, the average, the attitude. It's different, but it's totally different type of woman, than here.
Yeah, of course.
I like it. I like the limited I've done of dating, and so the limit I've done, it seems okay, but it's a whole other sphere dating there. It's not so easy like it is here because there's a certain,
You think it's easy here? I don't think it's easy here.
Oh well, when I was here,
because you're charming, you're cool, what I mean. You're a performer, but somebody else,
yeah. I don't know. I was like 5 years single before this last girlfriend, and it was just like, and those days. But I was also younger. It was easy. I mean, it was just like it was.
Maybe I'm
like,
just difficult motherfucker. I think. Like,
I don't
I'm
know.
just judgy. I'm judged because the women. I think the women here. I don't know what's going on here. They fucking hate dudes.
Oh really? See, I'm
Bro.
not out of the. I'm not
all right. So my mother came. My mother came to visit, and we were wandering around. And she had two different things to say. One, she's like, "God, it's really trashy here." I'm like, "Mom, why do you say shit like this?" She's like, "It's just fair." I'm like, "Mom, it's Brooklyn. What do you think's going on here?"
Right.
And then the second thing, she's like, "Why are all these women? They could be pretty. Why do they want to not be pretty?" And I'm like, "Ah, what a sweetheart." You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. But I think there is a I'm wondering if there's like like in your area, if there's like an embrace of traditional, not traditional, like go back to the 1950s traditional, but is there an embrace of like femininity? Like, when I was in Texas, right? I always say it's like cowboy boots and sundresses.
Oh,
you're not going to see that shit here. You know what I mean?
I see. No, if anything, it's just different. It's more like less makeup, less done up than here. So it's a different kind of thing.
So it's a natural beauty.
It's more like the average. I mean, there are some.
No,
that
of
go
course,
that.
no, of course.
I'm saying like just like if you want to like you're walking around that the average person is more just like casual dress, like casual.
So hanging out, not really trying to.
Yeah, not trying to like glam it up. You don't see a lot of like club girls. They have that, but it's not the same scene here. It's actually much more fashion conscious here, I think. So
no, that's what I'm saying. It's especially Williamsburg, Bushwick area. I just think I'm just tired of this. I'm just tired.
Right.
Like I'm not into tattoos. Like I'm not into. You know what I mean? Like I think people are like, "Why are you here?" And I'm like, "I'm a wasted resource. I'm a smart man. I should be."
Yeah, but there are downsides. I mean, there's not a whole like literary vibe down
you're
there.
the only writer in Alabama.
Right, probably. The one bookstore was like burned down. So
oh
like,
no.
So then I was trying to get my book in. There's so few bookstores. There's a bookstore in Laurel, Mississippi. You know Laurel, Mississippi?
No, I don't know. I've never been.
So I thought maybe because there was an HGTV show and and it got popularized and it was like a dead town and now there's all these people going there.
No,
so
I know Texas, I know Louisiana, New Orleans specifically, but and then Austin specifically, and a little bit of Dallas and Houston, a little bit of that, but like. Never been down to. Actually, I should be coming to visit you. I'll bring these mics down.
Absolutely.
I'll bring the mics down, bro.
Mississippi is, if you like music, there's so much history and culture like that. That's the origin, like the Delta region of blues. Yeah. There's a lot of, there really is a lot of, like you said, there's the civil rights stuff.
Definitely.
There's a lot of history. There's a lot, like in Montgomery, you got the first White House of the Confederacy, huh? I mean, it's history.
That's fun. That's popular. That's popular up here.
Yeah. You have but you do have, I'm not saying that but you also have both sides. You have
both sides. There are good people on both sides.
Like Trump said. Yeah, good people. I'm not saying, it's part of history that you want to see. You need to know that antebellum stuff.
I'm sorry. I got up at 5 this morning. I'm not even joking with you.
No, but I understand how there's skepticism. If you want to come down there and burn it down and make a protest,
I don't want to burn down anything.
Yeah.
I'm fine with everything. I think everything should stay. I mean, I think the more you erase the past, the more you're going to forget to not repeat or to repeat it.
That's what I think. We're not burning down the Roman Colosseum, just because the gladiators were killing themselves, killing each other.
The biggest slave trade was the Romans, anyways. They were the biggest, the Arabs and North Africans and all this shit.
Right,
it's like, it's like, what are you going to do? Like,
yeah. I mean, the whole history If you want to write, every single thing, every single character, basically all of history, you have to delete everything. It's right out of 1984.
Yeah, yes, indeed.
I know you said you had your challenges. I've had my own. Even though I never take any meds, I'm not the most stable guy. Like so,
all right, okay.
So most comedians aren't. I'll just say
I've never met a stable comedian in my life.
Yeah. So if I go on down that, I was going on some really angry fights with just wormhole things, and it was like I was losing my sanity. I'm like, I can't do this. I don't even engage with people.
Yeah.
Someone says something, I don't even respond because I know myself.
You're so smart. That's good, though. That's good.
The one leads to the next. And my ex was always say that. She's like, why do you bother? Because then it's like 2 hours, and you're like, I'm going to get him on this. I'm going to get him this.
Yeah.
And then you never do because they're going to come back with something. Yeah,
No, but
I wonder if that's like going to be the new archive for posterity. Like, you know how like Van Gogh's letters, like maybe, like if there's the new Van Gogh, is it going to be an archive? Well, check out this Facebook argument he had about genocide in Rwanda. Like I think Van Gogh won that one.
No, it's good. It's good because like there's actually one of my friends who did the meme, and he was just like kind of getting mad at me, and then we did the whole thing, and then other people jumped in. That's the people I really don't like. Usually if I get in an argument with somebody, if I disagree, like I'll argue with you.
Sure.
I'll argue with someone I know, always. But I don't like these, like, who are these strangers that jump in suddenly? Like, you can't do I know you, motherfucker? So I am really mean to them. I'll just insult their mother, and then I'm like, if you have a problem, we can just take this off Facebook. Here's my address. You know what I mean? I'll put it online.
Wow.
Oh no, I'm sure. I'm surprised no one's come around here.
Well, you need some firepower then. You need.
No, I'm working on it. But
I'll have to supply you from Alabama.
No, it's okay. No, I just realized that shotguns and rifles are totally easy to get that here in New York State. Just so you guys know.
Yeah. So Alabama's good for handguns and ivermectin if you want that. You need those.
Yeah. I don't need a handgun, no crime, but I like a nice little Mossberg right here. It's like, if you want to come in, you're gonna leave a cripple, bro. Like, please come on in. There's not really much to steal. Some shitty guitars.
Right.
No, but tell me, at least with the writing though too, because like you sent me a couple links.
Right.
To some of your short stories, and so are you pushing how far and how hard are you pushing this literary thing now?
I'm trying, that's like my passion. So it's it's a hard racket, but I'm trying. Like these last things I'm doing are 2 novels, and
you're working 2 novels at once.
No, I'm working on one of them, but one of them is almost done, and I just want to finish this.
You already have Crohn's disease, dude.
I know. I know it's a little schizophrenic. So I basically have 4 books lined up that are almost done.
Do you want a heart attack on top?
Yeah, I know. But this one book, and it gets crazier when you get into my madness, because the one book I'm trying to finish now, I literally started this 20 years ago.
Wow.
So yeah, and it's been like start and stop, and didn't put it down for like 10, 12 years, and then after I basically almost finished the other, I was like, all right, I got to finish this. So, but
wait,
I'm gonna
how
get
many
it done.
drafts? How many? All right, because I could talk to you as a professional person, just like you're a professional person, right? Mm-hmm. So, how many books? When I say done, and I'm not talking about it's edited or whatever. I'm talking about you have a beginning, middle, and end of a novel.
Right.
How many do you think that you have on paper right now?
Including ones that are novels or just all books? All books.
You mean like you have like short story compilations?
Oh, okay. So I have a humor book out there.
Okay, so there's a humor book.
Yeah.
Which one's that one?
And I had an indie publisher, 10th Street Press.
Fine, yeah.
So it's called Do Not Feed the Clown. So
okay, so there it is. So that's a book.
That's a book. That's out there.
Awesome.
And then there's like 3 basic self-published kind of poetry books that I have out there.
3 poetry books?
Yeah.
That's out there.
They're out there. They're on Amazon
Copy
or whatever.
that.
Yeah. So those are done. So that's 4. So then I have like literally 4 more projects I'm going to try to put out over the next couple of years.
In the literature form of just a straight up book.
So one is a short story collection, which is some of them have been published, a few, but most of them are new.
Good.
And that's basically done. I just need some like fine tuning.
Yeah.
And then one is a collection of like comedic type essays.
Awesome. Just like Steve Martin would do, or anybody.
Yeah.
Like,
they're just short little. They're basically like stories that happened to me. It's not really a memoir, but it's a memoir-ish.
Awesome. Yeah.
So that I wrote a lot back in the past, but then I've been tweaking it. And then there's 2 novels. So and they're both like
and
futuristic.
then those are 2 future like sci-fi or like William
One
Gibson,
is sci-fi and comedy,
like Philip K. Dick kind of stuff, or like Harry Crews shit.
There's really nothing comparable I can think of. The only thing comparable would be like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy or something like that.
Douglas
Yeah,
Adams.
yeah. You know that, yeah. Something wacky, something really wacky and out there, but so that's what I was trying to go for with that. Like kind of like a space opera. You know, like space opera, yeah.
I just love Douglas Adams. He's got the best quote. He's like, yeah, I mean, writers say they hate deadlines. I love deadlines. I love the sound, the whooshing sound it makes when they pass by.
Yeah, yeah. And the other one's more like satirical. It has a lot to do with money and capitalism. So anyway, but it's the whole story, and it has personal elements, but it's not me. So yeah, man. So basically, I hope.
But so you're not lazy. I mean, like this.
With writing, I feel like some of the stuff I got very personal. You know, and it's more difficult to put it out. I probably still have a little bit of blocks and certain things.
I got a million of them.
You know, it's tough because like even this one story in my current book, it's so sick and twisted. Now I sent it to my sick and twisted friend.
Yeah,
and he loves it. Of course. But that's not saying
you should
much.
send it to me.
You know, sending it to some you know, your relatives and stuff, because it's not me at all. It's totally, but you know, I was still the mind that created this craziness.
Oh, yeah.
And so yeah, you sometimes are like, wow, I don't know if I should put this out. You know, it's like too much.
Oh, like
well, that's how I got into stand up. I'll go say what I got into stand up. It was I'm really more a writer, and then stand up is like a place that you can write. You're basically writing material. You know, it's very written with my stand up. So it's like it's planned out pretty much. I mean, I do some improvisation, but you know, so yeah, that was basically why I got into it. You know, if there was like a huge following on writing, I probably wouldn't even do stand up, to be honest with you. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe I'll do it. I don't know.
That's why I'm excited for you, because I think that for you to have such a great background of coming from education as you've come from teaching. You went to the stage, you know, you're in front of the camera, like you got to travel and be around and work on all this stuff. It's going to be fascinating. Now, my question to you is, what would you tell someone who's like 23 right now, who's scared as fuck? What would you tell them?
In terms of being a writer or a comedian?
To be a writer. And like, well, I mean, I lump those two together. But
Okay, so
just in the creative sense of what you've learned, like especially in the modern thing, like what would
But
be
I think
the
they're
best?
two different paths. That's the only thing. But and you know, with writing, I mean, it's very real basic. I don't think I have that great advice, except for, you know, like making it a regular habit. Like I try to do it. It's been tough here in New York, but like, you know, when I can, I try to do it every day, like, or every other. Maybe take a day off, but try to make a regular schedule. I know it sounds like really dull, but that seems to be one of the most important things, because you got to keep that. It's like I believe in this whole daemon and, you know, tapping into your energy, and especially if you're trying to work on a novel, you lose it really fast. And then like if you take a day or two off, then you pick it up. It takes you longer to get back into it. So you got to have that continuity. You got to really, really be regular on it. So I think that's like one of the best things that helped me finish things, is just being like more disciplined. It's kind of not, it's not romantic. It's not like Bukowski. So I have a different, I know, although Bukowski did do that. He was like that, even though he drank. But I have a more like workman, like I'm like more like, try to be more like, I think Trollope was like that, where he just, you know, he had his like word count. Although I don't do word count, I do time count. I do because I don't like word count because that's too much pressure. But I do time count. Like I say, like I literally put on a time. Say it's like 1:11. I have to at least write to 2:11. I don't allow myself to not do that. You see what I'm saying? And maybe,
discipline.
At least that. Say I could go longer. But if I don't have that, I'm not going to do it. I just know myself.
Yeah.
Because I'll just you know.
Then what keeps you moving? Then how do you even keep that fire moving? Like what do you like?
What do you mean?
What's inside you like keep creating? Like what is that?
You know, I've always been driven that way. Yeah. So like I can say I think I don't know if I ever told you that I you know, I was hit by a car. It was bad when I was walking across the street.
Jesus.
You know, and one more step and I think I would have died. It was like one of those things where, you know, my hand went through the glass and I had like 27 stitches and all these, you know, like 10 herniated discs in my back and stuff, because it was
and the Crohn's disease.
Yeah, so when that happened though, it was so crazy, and the glass and the bleeding. What I got, that's why I got even more into the writing, because I was doing more stand up and acting at that point.
Yeah.
It was like not like a vision, but like a feeling, because I thought maybe I'm gonna die, and the feeling I had was like, do your writing, like I wish, because I thought I was gonna die. I was like, I wish I finished those books, and I had this like strong feeling.
Wow.
It was like so overwhelming. So since then, I've been like, you have to do this, even if it doesn't do anything and no one likes it. It's just for myself, really. I know it's an impossible market. Just to say I did it and like I finished it to the level I wanted it. That's it. Like, I think that's the true creative thing, is like, if you just do, and you follow through, you circle the square or whatever, and then to me that's the best part about it. That last, when you're like, this is done.
We're Killed Cat Radio. Thanks for listening. Signing off.